Welcome to Audiobook Blueprint. Every audiobook you hear here is written, produced, and narrated entirely by us. No reused or repurposed content. Every word, every voice, and every edit is created exclusively for this channel. So sit back, relax, put on your headphones, and enjoy today's audio. Do you ever wonder why some people seem to achieve success effortlessly, while others struggle despite working harder? The secret lies not in the amount of effort, but in the way they work. In this audiobook, we'll uncover the powerful concept of focusing in silence and why winning in public is not as important as mastering your craft quietly. This audiobook will show you how to harness the power of quiet focus. You'll learn why it's often better to keep your plans to yourself, avoid distractions, and instead focus all your energy on achieving the success you desire. Too many people are quick to announce their plans, talk about their efforts, and seek validation before achieving their goals. But true success often comes from working quietly, staying focused, and letting your results speak for themselves. Before we dive in, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on more tips that will help you grow and succeed in silence, winning in ways that matter. Let's get started with the first chapter and discover why focusing on your goals quietly is the best way to achieve lasting success. Chapter 1: The Power of Silence and Focus. When you talk too much about your plans, you end up spreading your energy in too many directions. You might spend more time explaining yourself to others than actually working toward your goals. Telling people what you're doing can also bring in unnecessary opinions, distractions, and even doubt. Instead of letting others talk about your progress, it's better to let your actions do the talking. Many people believe that to succeed you have to constantly talk about your goals, your dreams, and the hard work you're putting in. We often hear people saying, "I'm working on this project," or "I'm going to be successful because I'm doing this." But what if I told you that true success often comes when you keep things to yourself and let your actions speak louder than your words? What if I told you that focusing in silence is the key to achieving everything you want, without telling everyone what you're doing? The first thing we need to understand is why silence matters. Silence is not just about being quiet. It's about having the space to think clearly, plan carefully, and work without distractions. In today's world, we're surrounded by noise: social media, friends, family, even random conversations at work. There's always something pulling our attention away. We're often told we need to show off our work, share every little update, and let everyone know what we're up to. But the truth is, all this noise can take us away from what really matters. The second reason why focusing in silence is so powerful is because it helps you stay clear on your purpose. When you keep your work to yourself, there's no outside noise telling you what you should or shouldn't do. You get to focus entirely on what matters to you. You can plan without distraction, set goals without outside pressure, and work at your own pace. There's no need to explain every decision you make to others. You don't have to justify yourself constantly. Think about it. How often have you heard someone say, "I'm going to lose weight," or "I'm going to start a business," or "I'm going to work harder"? But then, what happens? You don't see any change, and in many cases, people start talking about these plans over and over again, but never really take action. It becomes more about the conversation than the actual work. This is the problem with telling everyone what you're doing before you've even achieved anything. It distracts you from actually achieving your goals. Now contrast this with someone who quietly works, focusing their energy on their goals, and doesn't feel the need to share every step. Over time, this person makes real progress, and when the time is right, their success shows itself. People will notice, but by then, it's no longer about talking about it. It's about the results. One of the best examples of this is the way successful people often work behind the scenes. Many of the most successful people in the world don't go around talking about their progress every day. They don't need to. They let their results speak for themselves. They do the work, stay focused, and eventually, when they're ready, they show what they've accomplished. Think about famous figures, inventors, or entrepreneurs. Most of them didn't announce their plans to the world. They simply worked in silence, quietly building their ideas and projects until they were ready to share their success. Another important aspect of focusing in silence is avoiding distractions. When you constantly share your plans, you start inviting distractions. People will ask questions, give advice, or share their opinions. While advice can be helpful, too much of it can cloud your vision. It can lead you to second-guess yourself and wonder if you're doing the right thing. If you spend all your time explaining your work to others, you risk losing the focus needed to get things done. By focusing quietly, you create your own path. Think of it like this: if you're always explaining to others what you're doing, you're constantly looking for approval. But when you choose silence, you remove the need for validation. You're not waiting for someone else's opinion to keep going. You're working toward your goals because you believe in them, not because someone else does. In silence, you're free from all this. You can create a space where your thoughts, ideas, and work are uninterrupted. The more focused you are, the more productive you'll be. You'll find yourself making progress faster because you're not constantly explaining or defending your decisions. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of sharing your plans with others. We all want to feel supported and validated, but the truth is, success is built on hard work, not on talking about it. If you constantly tell people what you're doing, you're focusing more on the process of talking than on the process of doing. However, it's not just about keeping quiet, it's also about working smart. Focused action is key to making progress. You need to break down your goals into smaller steps and focus on completing them. If your goal is to start a business, for example, you don't need to tell everyone about it from the start. You need to spend time researching, planning, and learning. Each step you take brings you closer to your goal. And instead of telling people every little detail, you simply work on the things that matter most. In the end, the best leaders and the most successful people are often those who work in silence. They don't boast about what they're doing, and they don't seek attention or approval. They simply do the work, stay committed, and let their results speak for themselves. Let's think about a simple example. If you're training for a marathon, it's better to put in the miles, work on your stamina, and prepare for the race, rather than telling everyone how much you're training. When the race day comes, your hard work will speak for itself. You'll show up at the starting line, ready to go, and the people around you will see the results of your dedication and quiet focus. There's power in letting your success surprise people. You don't need to announce every small achievement along the way. You don't need to share every step of your journey. Instead, put in the effort, work on your goals, and let others notice when you succeed. This approach helps you stay grounded, focused, and more connected to your own purpose. So take a moment to reflect on your own goals. Are you spending too much time explaining them to others? Are you getting distracted by other people's opinions? If so, it's time to embrace silence and focus. Set your intentions, stay committed, and let your results shine through when the time is right. Remember, silence isn't about being passive or lazy. It's about creating space for real progress. It's about staying focused on your own goals, without the constant need for approval or validation. By focusing in silence, you can achieve things far beyond what you could by constantly talking about your plans. Chapter 2. The Strength of Patience. In a world that moves quickly, it's easy to forget one of the most important traits a leader can have: patience. We live in a time when everything is fast. Fast food, instant messages, quick deliveries, and constant distractions. The pressure to act quickly can sometimes make us feel like we need to rush everything. But in reality, patience is one of the most powerful tools in leadership and success. Patience is not just about waiting for things to happen. It's about being calm and focused while you work towards your goals. It's the ability to stay committed to your vision, even when the results aren't immediate. Patience is also the key to making better decisions, building stronger relationships, and achieving long-term success. When you're patient, you give yourself the space to think, Rushing to make decisions often leads to mistakes or regret. Leaders who rush often overlook important details. They might act based on emotions or pressure, but those actions don't always lead to the best results. Patience allows you to think clearly and make decisions that are more likely to help you achieve your goals. Think about a time when you rushed through something. Maybe you made a hasty decision that didn't turn out well. On the other hand, when you've been patient, you probably noticed better results. Patience doesn't mean being passive or lazy. It means giving yourself time to learn, adjust, and respond thoughtfully. In fact, patience actually helps you move forward faster because it helps you avoid mistakes that would slow you down later. One of the hardest things about patience is dealing with the feeling of impatience itself. Sometimes, when things are not moving as fast as you want, it can feel frustrating. You might feel like you're stuck or that you're not making progress. But the truth is, progress often happens in ways we don't see. When you're patient, you're building the foundation for success. Sometimes, the results are just not visible immediately. Think of planting a seed. You plant it, water it, and take care of it, but it doesn't grow right away. You don't see the changes happening beneath the soil, but the plant is slowly growing. Success works the same way. You may not see instant results, but the small steps you take each day add up. Over time, those efforts will show, and the results will come. Leaders understand the power of patience. They know that true success takes time, effort, and persistence. They don't expect overnight results. Instead, they focus on continuous improvement. They know that their efforts today will pay off in the future. Patience allows them to keep going, even when things get tough. Patience also plays a big role in handling challenges. In leadership, things don't always go as planned. Problems arise. People make mistakes. Situations change unexpectedly. When this happens, leaders who are patient don't panic. They stay calm and figure out how to handle the situation. They don't rush into decisions based on fear or frustration. They take the time to evaluate the problem, consider the best solution, and act carefully. Think about the last time something went wrong at work or in your personal life. If you took a moment to step back and reflect, you probably found a better solution than if you had rushed into it. Leaders who are patient give themselves that time to think and respond thoughtfully, not react impulsively. Another important aspect of patience is its role in relationships. Whether you're leading a team or interacting with others, being patient helps build stronger connections. When you're patient, you listen more. You understand others better. You show empathy. People appreciate leaders who take the time to understand them. Patience allows leaders to foster trust and respect. When you're patient with others, you give them the space to grow, make mistakes, and learn. If you rush people or pressure them, they might feel stressed, anxious, or unsupported. But if you're patient, you create an environment where people feel safe to take risks and improve. Patience helps people feel more confident and motivated to do their best. Patience also teaches resilience. When things don't go your way, it's easy to get discouraged. But leaders who are patient understand that setbacks are a part of the journey. They don't give up easily. Instead, they use setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. They know that patience will help them overcome challenges and achieve long-term success. One of the key elements of patience is timing. In leadership, knowing when to act and when to wait is crucial. Sometimes rushing into action can cause more problems than it solves. Other times waiting too long can cause you to miss an opportunity. Patience is about finding the right moment to act. It's about knowing when to be patient and when to take action. To develop patience, start by practicing self-control. When you feel the urge to act quickly or get frustrated, take a deep breath. Pause for a moment and think about your options. Ask yourself, what's the best course of action here? Sometimes, just taking a minute to breathe and reflect can help you make a more thoughtful decision. Another way to develop patience is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. Instead of obsessing over the end result, enjoy the journey. Celebrate the small wins along the way. Recognize the progress you've made, even if it's not as fast as you'd like. When you focus on the process, you're able to stay patient because you see the value in the steps you're taking, not just the finish line. Remember, patience is not about being passive. It's about being intentional. It's about staying focused on your goals and trusting that your efforts will pay off in time. When you are patient, you allow yourself to grow, learn, and improve at your own pace. Patience is one of the most powerful qualities a leader can have. It helps you make better decisions, handle challenges more effectively, and build stronger relationships. It allows you to stay focused on the long-term goal and not get discouraged by short-term setbacks. Leaders who practice patience are more resilient, more thoughtful, and more successful in the end. So, the next time you feel frustrated or impatient, remember that patience is a strength, not a weakness. Take a moment to step back, breathe, and trust the process. Your patience will lead to greater success, stronger relationships, and a more peaceful, focused mindset. Chapter 3. The Power of Consistency. Success is not always about doing something grand or extraordinary. Often, it's about doing the small things consistently, day in and day out. Consistency is what turns dreams into reality. It's the key to lasting success in everything we do. But why does consistency matter so much? First, let's talk about what consistency really is. It's not about being perfect or never making mistakes. Consistency is about showing up every day, doing the work, and making progress, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. It's about creating habits that push you forward, even on the days when motivation is low. Think of consistency as building a brick wall. At first, it might seem like you're only laying down one brick at a time, and it doesn't feel like much. But if you keep laying bricks every day, eventually you'll have a strong, tall wall. The same goes for any goal or ambition. If you keep doing the little things every day, those actions build up to big results over time. Consistency is the foundation of all successful habits. Whether it's fitness, learning a new skill, or building a business, the secret to success is simple. Keep showing up and doing the work. Even if you're not seeing immediate results, consistency will get you there eventually. It's easy to get discouraged when progress feels slow, but that's exactly when consistency becomes most important. Have you ever started something new, like a workout routine or a project, and felt excited at first? But after a few days or weeks, the excitement fades, and you start to feel tired or lose motivation. It's at that moment that consistency becomes your best friend. The excitement will fade, but your ability to stick to the process, even when you don't feel like it, is what will lead you to success. One of the biggest obstacles to consistency is impatience. We live in a world of instant gratification, where we can get nearly anything we want in an instant. Social media, streaming services, and even food delivery all give us immediate results. So, it's easy to forget that true success takes time. When we don't see quick results, we can feel like we're not getting anywhere. But consistency isn't about quick results. It's about steady progress, even when the finish line seems far away. Let's take an example. Imagine you're learning to play the guitar. At first, your fingers may hurt, and you might struggle to play even simple songs. It might seem like you're not improving, but if you keep practicing every day, no matter how small the practice session is, your skills will grow. Over time, you'll be able to play songs that seemed impossible at the start. That's the power of consistency. It's not about being great from day one, it's about showing up and doing the work every day. Consistency is also about creating a routine. When you have a set schedule for your goals, it becomes easier to stick with them. Your mind knows what to expect, and your body starts to adjust. You build habits that support your goals. For example, if you make it a habit to study for 30 minutes every morning before school, you'll find that the habit becomes part of your day. It won't feel like a chore, and you won't have to force yourself to do it. Over time, that small amount of study each day adds up, and you'll see the results in your grades and knowledge. But consistency isn't just about showing up, it's about showing up with effort. You can be consistent in doing something without actually putting in the effort, and that won't lead to progress. It's like going to the gym every day but not putting in the effort to push yourself. If you don't challenge yourself, consistency won't lead to results. But when you show up consistently and give your best effort, that's when you start to see the real progress. It's also important to remember that consistency doesn't mean perfection. You're going to have days when you don't feel like doing anything. There will be days when things don't go as planned, and that's okay. The key is not to give up. It's about getting back on track the next day and continuing to do the work. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is, and as long as you're making progress, you're moving in the right direction. Another reason why consistency is so powerful is that it builds trust, both with others and with yourself. When you show up consistently, people start to rely on you. If you're always there, putting in the effort, others will see that and trust you more. In leadership, this is crucial. People trust leaders who are consistent because they know what to expect. They know that their leader will do what they say and follow through. This trust is built over time, through consistent action. But even more important than building trust with others is building trust with yourself. When you commit to something and follow through, you start to trust yourself more. You prove to yourself that you're capable of doing what you say you'll do. This self-trust is powerful. It boosts your confidence, and when you believe in yourself, you're more likely to take on new challenges and keep pushing toward your goals. One of the most important benefits of consistency is that it helps you stay focused on the long term. When you focus on progress rather than results, you avoid the trap of impatience. Instead of constantly checking how far you've come, you stay focused on the daily actions that lead you toward success. You trust the process and know that as long as you're consistent, the results will come eventually. That's the beauty of consistency. It keeps you moving forward, no matter what obstacles come your way. Sometimes it can be hard to see progress right away, but that doesn't mean you're not making any. It's easy to get discouraged if you don't see instant results. But think about a plant. It doesn't grow in a day, but if you keep watering it, giving it sunlight, and taking care of it, you'll eventually see it bloom. Success works the same way. You may not see results immediately, but every day you show up and put in the effort is a step toward your goal. So, how do you stay consistent, even when things get tough? Start by making small commitments. It's easier to stay consistent with small, manageable tasks than to commit to something huge right away. For example, instead of saying, "I'll study for 5 hours a day," start with 30 minutes each day. Once you make that small commitment and stick to it, you'll feel motivated to do more. Over time, those small commitments add up. Accountability is also important. When you tell someone about your goals or share your progress, you have someone to help keep you on track. This accountability can make it easier to stay consistent because you don't want to let others or yourself down. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or even a coach, having someone to support you can make a big difference in maintaining consistency. Most importantly, be kind to yourself. If you miss a day or fall off track, don't beat yourself up. Consistency doesn't mean being perfect every day. It means getting back up and continuing to try. Learn from your setbacks, but don't let them stop you from moving forward. Chapter 4. Embracing Challenges. Life is full of challenges. Every person, no matter how successful or experienced, faces obstacles along the way. Sometimes these challenges can feel overwhelming. At times they may seem like roadblocks that will prevent us from moving forward. But what if I told you that challenges are not something to avoid? What if I told you that embracing challenges could be the key to your growth and success? When you think about challenges, they might seem scary. They could be things like difficult tasks, tough decisions, or moments when things don't go as planned. It's easy to want to avoid these situations, but avoiding challenges means avoiding growth. You see, every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn. It's a chance to become better, stronger, and more capable. The first step to embracing challenges is changing your mindset. Instead of seeing a challenge as something negative, start seeing it as a chance to grow. Every time you face something difficult, you have the opportunity to improve your skills, build resilience, and learn new lessons. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by avoiding challenges. They got there by tackling them head-on, learning from them, and using those lessons to keep moving forward. Think about the times when you've learned the most in your life. Chances are they were the times when you faced something difficult, whether it was studying for a tough exam, learning a new skill, or working through a personal challenge. Those moments of struggle helped you grow. You didn't become who you are today by taking the easy path. You became stronger because you faced difficult situations and didn't give up. It's important to remember that challenges don't have to be huge to matter. Sometimes the small challenges can teach us the most. Maybe it's a tough conversation with a friend, a project at work, or trying to learn something new. These small challenges, when approached with the right mindset, can build your confidence and help you become better at what you do. But embracing challenges isn't just about facing big problems. It's also about accepting that things won't always go perfectly. In fact, challenges often come with mistakes, failures, and setbacks. And that's okay. Mistakes are part of the process. They don't mean you failed. They simply mean you found a way that doesn't work, and now you know how to adjust and try again. Every mistake is a lesson. It's a step forward, not backward. One of the reasons people shy away from challenges is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. But the truth is, fear is natural. Everyone feels it. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they deal with fear. The successful ones acknowledge the fear, but don't let it control them. They use it as motivation to push through the tough moments. When you embrace challenges, you'll start to see fear as something that can fuel your success, rather than something that holds you back. It's also important to understand that challenges will come in many forms. Some will be big, like a career change or a major life decision. Others will be small, like learning a new skill or solving a problem at work. No matter the size, each challenge gives you the chance to grow and develop in new ways. The key is to approach each challenge with the same attitude. I can handle this. Even if it's difficult, even if it's scary, I can learn from this experience and become better for it. Another powerful way to embrace challenges is by setting goals. Having a clear goal helps you stay focused and motivated, even when the going gets tough. When you know why you're facing a challenge, it becomes easier to push through. For example, if you're training for a race, you might face pain and exhaustion along the way. But if you remind yourself of your goal to finish the race, you'll be able to keep going, even when things get hard. Setting smaller goals within the bigger challenge can also make things feel more manageable. Instead of focusing on the entire journey, break it down into smaller steps. Celebrate each little victory along the way. This approach helps you stay positive and keeps you moving forward, no matter how big the challenge feels. Support is also crucial when facing challenges. You don't have to do it alone. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, who believe in you, and who can offer advice when you need it. Sometimes, just talking about a challenge with someone else can make a huge difference. They may offer a new perspective or help you see the situation in a different light. It's also helpful to learn from others who have faced similar challenges. Read about their experiences, ask them how they overcame their obstacles, and take note of the strategies they used. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you face a challenge. Others' experiences can offer valuable lessons that will make your own journey easier. Overcoming challenges isn't just about finding solutions. It's also about building resilience, the ability to bounce back after setbacks. Resilience is what helps you stay strong in difficult times, what helps you keep going when things aren't going as planned. Resilience is built through facing challenges head-on and learning to handle disappointment, frustration, and failure. The more resilient you are, the better you'll become at handling whatever life throws your way. As you face challenges, remember that you are not alone in this. Everyone goes through tough times. Everyone faces obstacles. But the leaders, the successful people, are the ones who don't give up. They push through. They stay focused. They keep learning and growing. Chapter 5: The Importance of Taking Action. It's easy to talk about goals, dreams, and what we want to achieve. It's easy to imagine a successful future where everything is going perfectly. But no matter how clear your vision is, or how much you want to succeed, nothing will happen unless you take action. Dreaming is important, but taking action is what makes dreams come true. The first thing to understand is that taking action doesn't have to mean doing everything at once. It doesn't have to mean making big dramatic changes overnight. Taking action is about making small steps every day. It's about doing something, no matter how small, that moves you closer to your goal. The biggest obstacle many people face when it comes to taking action is fear. We often fear failure, rejection, or making mistakes. But fear is something that everyone feels. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people don't let fear stop them. They feel fear, but they take action anyway. The fear doesn't go away completely, but they keep moving forward in spite of it. Start small. If you've been putting off a project or goal, begin with a simple step. Don't focus on how much you have to do. Just focus on the next step. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't think about writing the entire book all at once. Instead, focus on writing one page or one paragraph. Once you start, you'll find that taking action becomes easier and easier. Taking action also means being consistent. It's easy to get excited about a new goal and start off with a lot of energy. But after a few days or weeks, that excitement starts to fade, and it can be hard to stay motivated. This is when consistency becomes key. Even on the days when you don't feel like working on your goal, keep taking small steps. Consistency will build momentum, and soon you'll see progress. It's also important to be realistic about what you can achieve in a day, a week, or a month. When you set big goals, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. But when you break those big goals into smaller, more manageable steps, it becomes much easier to take action. For example, if you want to lose weight, setting a goal of losing 20 pounds in a month may feel overwhelming. But if you break it down into small steps, like eating healthier meals or exercising for 30 minutes each day, it will feel more achievable. Taking action is not always easy. Sometimes life gets in the way, and you might face obstacles that make it hard to stay on track. But it's important to remember that challenges are a part of the process. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of getting discouraged, use those obstacles to fuel your determination to keep moving forward. A big part of taking action is being willing to make mistakes. No one is perfect, and we all make mistakes along the way. But mistakes are not failures, they're learning experiences. The more you take action, the more you learn about what works and what doesn't. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because they will help you grow and improve. In fact, the most successful people are often those who have failed the most. They don't let failure stop them. Instead, they use it as a stepping stone to greater success. Taking action also means being accountable to yourself. It's easy to make excuses or put things off, but the only person you're hurting when you do that is yourself. Set deadlines, track your progress, and hold yourself accountable for taking action. Even when you feel like giving up, remember why you started in the first place. Keep reminding yourself that your goals are worth the effort. Another important aspect of taking action is staying focused on your why. When things get tough, it's easy to lose sight of why you started in the first place. But when you stay connected to your purpose, you'll find the motivation to keep going. Whether your why is to provide for your family, make a positive impact on the world, or simply achieve personal growth. Staying focused on that deeper reason will keep you moving forward even when the going gets tough. It's also helpful to celebrate small wins along the way. Every step you take toward your goal is a victory. Celebrate that progress, no matter how small. It will help you stay motivated and remind you that you are moving forward. Sometimes, the hardest part is just getting started. The fear of the unknown, the fear of failure, or the fear of not being good enough can make it difficult to take that first step. But remember, the only way to achieve anything is by taking that first step. It doesn't matter if you don't know exactly what to do or if you feel unsure about the outcome. What matters is that you take action and trust that you will figure it out as you go. One thing that can help is to develop a routine. Having a routine will make it easier to take action every day, even when you don't feel like it. For example, if you want to write every day, set aside a specific time each day to write. Make it a habit. Over time, the routine will become automatic, and it will be easier to take action without thinking twice about it. When you take action, you'll also start to build confidence. The more you do, the more you'll believe in your ability to succeed. Confidence comes from knowing that you are capable of achieving your goals, and the only way to build that confidence is by taking action. It's also helpful to get support from others, whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a group of like-minded people. Having support can make taking action feel easier. They can offer encouragement, advice, and accountability when you need it most. You don't have to do it alone. Reach out to others for help when you need it, and don't be afraid to ask for support. Taking action is about showing up, doing the work, and believing in yourself. It's about putting in the effort, even when things get tough, and trusting that your hard work will pay off. It's about taking small steps every day toward the bigger picture. And most importantly, it's about moving forward, no matter what. So, take that first step today. Whether it's a small task or a big goal, commit to taking action. Trust the process. Keep moving forward. The more you take action, the closer you'll get to your dreams. And remember, success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating the moment by taking action. Chapter 6. Building self-discipline. Self-discipline is one of the most important traits for anyone who wants to be successful. It's the ability to control your actions, emotions, and behavior in order to achieve a goal. Without self-discipline, it's easy to get distracted, procrastinate, or give up when things get hard. But when you develop self-discipline, you're able to stay focused, work consistently, and keep moving forward, even when it's tough. Think about all the things you've accomplished in life so far. Maybe you've finished school projects, learned a new skill, or completed a workout routine. What helped you get there? Chances are it was your ability to stay focused and stick with it. That's self-discipline at work. One of the most important things to understand about self-discipline is that it's not something you're born with. It's something you can develop. Just like any other skill, the more you practice self-discipline, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. But how do you build self-discipline? Where do you start? The first step is setting clear goals. When you have a goal in mind, it gives you something to focus on. It's much easier to stay disciplined when you know exactly what you're working toward. Whether it's getting better at a sport, finishing a school project, or saving money, having a clear goal helps you stay on track. Once you have your goal, break it down into smaller steps. Trying to achieve a big goal all at once can feel overwhelming. But if you break it down into smaller, more manageable tasks, it becomes much easier to stay disciplined. For example, if your goal is to read a book, start by reading a chapter every day. If you want to save money, start by setting aside a small amount each week. By focusing on smaller steps, you'll feel more in control, and your self-discipline will grow as you make progress. Another key to building self-discipline is creating routines. When you have a routine, it's easier to stay on track and make progress without having to think about it too much. Routines help you build good habits, and good habits are the foundation of self-discipline. For example, if you want to improve your fitness, set a time every day to exercise. When it becomes part of your daily routine, it won't feel like a struggle anymore. It will just be something you do. But creating routines isn't always easy. Sometimes we fall into the trap of making excuses. I'm too tired today, or I don't have time right now, or I'll start tomorrow. These excuses can prevent us from staying disciplined. The key is to push through those moments and make yourself do what you know needs to be done. Even when you don't feel like it, stick to your routine. The more you do it, the easier it will become. One way to fight the urge to make excuses is by holding yourself accountable. When you're accountable to someone else, it's much harder to slack off. Tell a friend or family member about your goals and ask them to check in on your progress, or keep track of your progress in a journal. Seeing your progress written down can motivate you to keep going. Accountability helps you stay disciplined, even when you'd rather give up. Another important part of self-discipline is managing your time. Time is one of our most valuable resources, and it's easy to waste it if we're not careful. Self-discipline helps you use your time wisely by prioritizing what's most important. When you set goals, break them down into tasks, and create routines, you're also managing your time better. You're making sure that you spend your time on the things that matter most. But time management doesn't mean filling every minute of the day with work. It's about balance. It's about making time for your goals, while also taking care of your health, relationships, and well-being. Self-discipline is about saying no to distractions, but it's also about saying yes to the things that help you grow. Make sure you schedule time for rest, relaxation, and fun. Taking care of yourself is just as important as taking action toward your goals. Sometimes we can be our own biggest distractions. We check our phones, watch TV, or scroll through social media when we should be working. These distractions are tempting, but they can prevent us from staying disciplined. One way to overcome this is by setting limits for yourself. For example, you can set a timer for how long you'll spend on social media each day. Or you can leave your phone in another room while you work. By eliminating distractions, you can stay more focused and disciplined. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Self-discipline doesn't mean being perfect all the time. Everyone slips up now and then. Maybe you miss a workout or forget to study for a test. That's okay. The key is to keep going. Even after you make a mistake, don't let one slip-up stop you from continuing on your path. Forgive yourself, learn from it, and get back on track. Building self-discipline takes time, but it's worth it. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to stay focused and make progress, and the rewards of self-discipline are huge. When you stay disciplined, you'll feel more in control of your life. You'll achieve your goals faster. You'll gain confidence in yourself and your abilities. Remember, self-discipline is not about being perfect. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making small, consistent choices that lead to big results. Every time you push through the urge to procrastinate, you're building your self-discipline. Every time you stick to your routine, you're strengthening your ability to achieve your goals. So, take it one day at a time. Set your goals, create your routines, eliminate distractions, and, most importantly, stay committed. The more you practice self-discipline, the more successful you'll be. And as you keep pushing yourself, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Chapter 7. The value of persistence. Persistence is one of the most important qualities a person can have. It's the ability to keep going, even when things are tough. It's about not giving up, even when you face setbacks, failures, or challenges. But persistence is not something that comes naturally to everyone. It's something that needs to be developed, nurtured, and practiced. The good news is that anyone can build persistence, and the rewards are worth it. At its core, persistence is about sticking with something, even when it feels hard. When you start something new, it's easy to feel excited and motivated. But as time goes on, the excitement fades, and the hard work starts to feel more challenging. This is where persistence comes in. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when the results aren't immediate, and even when the process feels slow. Think about a time when you faced a difficult challenge. Maybe it was a school project, learning a new skill, or even something personal. In the beginning, it might have seemed easy or exciting. But as you kept going, the challenges started to pile up. The process felt longer than you expected. This is when persistence is crucial. Instead of giving up or walking away, persistence helps you stay focused on the end goal and keep working, even when things don't seem to be moving quickly. One of the most important aspects of persistence is having a clear goal. When you know exactly what you want to achieve, it's easier to stay focused. A goal gives you a sense of direction and purpose. It reminds you why you're working hard, even when it feels difficult. But having a clear goal is just the first step. You also need to have a plan. A plan will help you break down the bigger goal into smaller, manageable steps. When you focus on completing one small step at a time, the overall task doesn't feel as overwhelming. But what happens when things don't go according to plan? What if you make a mistake or face an obstacle that sets you back? This is where persistence becomes even more important. The key to persistence is not letting setbacks discourage you. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to give up, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Every mistake or setback is a chance to get better, to understand what went wrong, and to figure out how to improve for next time. Persistence also means learning how to push through the tough moments. Everyone faces challenges. Everyone has days when they feel like giving up. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often the ability to keep going, even when they don't feel like it. On those tough days, remind yourself why you started. Focus on the bigger picture and keep taking small steps forward. It's okay if progress is slow. What matters is that you keep going, no matter how hard it gets. One of the biggest barriers to persistence is self-doubt. When things get tough, it's easy to start questioning yourself. Am I good enough? Is this even worth it? What if I fail? These thoughts can stop you from pushing forward, but it's important to remember that everyone faces self-doubt. Even the most successful people have moments when they wonder if they're on the right path. The key is to keep moving forward, even when you don't feel confident. The more you push through self-doubt, the more confident you will become in your ability to succeed. Another part of persistence is being patient. In today's world, we are used to instant results. If we want something, we expect to get it right away. But success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and consistency. When you're working toward a goal, remind yourself that it's okay to take your time. The process is just as important as the result. Sometimes it's the journey itself that teaches us the most valuable lessons. Persistence also requires a mindset shift. Instead of focusing on obstacles, focus on solutions. Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, think about what could go right. Positive thinking helps you stay motivated, even when things aren't going as planned. When you focus on solutions, you shift your energy toward what you can control, rather than dwelling on things that are out of your hands. Building persistence takes practice. It's not something that happens overnight. But every time you face a challenge and keep going, you build more persistence. Each time you overcome an obstacle, you grow stronger. Every small victory is a step toward achieving your bigger goal. Another important part of persistence is taking care of yourself. When you're working toward something, it's easy to get caught up in the process and forget to rest. But persistence doesn't mean working non-stop. It means working hard, but also knowing when to take a break and recharge. Taking care of your physical and mental health is crucial for staying persistent. You'll be able to keep going longer if you take care of yourself along the way. Sometimes it helps to have a support system. When things get tough, having people who believe in you can make a huge difference. Whether it's friends, family, or a mentor, support can give you the encouragement you need to keep going. They can remind you of your strengths, help you see things from a different perspective, and offer advice when needed. Don't be afraid to lean on others when you need to. Persistence is also about celebrating progress, not just the end goal. Every time you accomplish something, no matter how small, take a moment to celebrate. Recognize the effort you've put in, and acknowledge how far you've come. This will help you stay motivated and remind you that all your hard work is paying off. As you continue on your journey, remember that persistence doesn't mean perfection. You don't have to be perfect to succeed. What matters is that you keep trying, keep learning, and keep growing. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to improve. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. The power of persistence lies in its ability to help you overcome obstacles and stay focused on your dreams. It's about not giving up, even when things get tough. It's about continuing to take action, even when progress feels slow. With persistence, anything is possible. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember that success isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about facing it head-on and continuing to move forward. The more persistent you are, the closer you will get to achieving your goals. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that all those small steps, all that persistence, were what led you to success. Chapter 8: Overcoming Doubt and Fear. Fear and doubt are two of the biggest challenges we face when trying to achieve something important. They can stop us from trying new things, taking risks, and reaching for our dreams. But the truth is, everyone experiences fear and doubt at some point in their lives. The key is not to let these feelings control you. Instead, learn how to overcome them and keep moving forward. Let's start by talking about fear. Fear is a natural emotion. It's your mind and body's way of warning you about potential danger or risk. But fear isn't always accurate. Sometimes we fear things that aren't dangerous at all, like speaking in front of a group or trying something new. This kind of fear can hold us back from taking action. The first step in overcoming fear is recognizing it for what it is. Just a feeling. Fear can feel very real, but it's important to remind yourself that it's not always based on reality. For example, you might feel nervous about speaking in public, but the truth is, most people are more focused on their own thoughts than on criticizing you. The fear of judgment or failure can be stronger than the actual risk. One way to deal with fear is to face it head-on. The more you avoid the things that scare you, the bigger and scarier they become in your mind. But when you confront your fears, you realize that they often aren't as bad as you thought. If you're afraid of public speaking, try speaking in front of a small group first. Start small and gradually work your way up to bigger challenges. The more you practice, the less scary it becomes. Facing your fear gives you the chance to prove to yourself that you can handle it. Another important part of overcoming fear is understanding that failure is not the end. We often fear failure because we think it means we've failed as a person or that we're not good enough. But failure is not something to fear, it's something to learn from. Everyone fails at some point. What matters is how you respond to failure. Do you give up or do you try again? The most successful people in the world have failed many times. What sets them apart is their ability to keep going, even after a setback. Fear is often tied to the unknown. We fear what we don't understand or what we can't predict. For example, when you're starting something new, like a job, a project, or even a new hobby, it can be scary because you don't know what to expect. But fear of the unknown doesn't have to stop you. Instead, focus on taking one step at a time. The unknown can feel overwhelming, but if you break it down into smaller pieces, it becomes easier to manage. Doubt, on the other hand, is the feeling that we're not good enough or that we can't achieve our goals. Doubt often creeps in when we compare ourselves to others or when things aren't going as smoothly as we expected. But self-doubt can be just as limiting as fear. When you doubt yourself, you hold yourself back from taking action. You start to believe that you're not capable or that you don't deserve success. Overcoming doubt starts with recognizing that everyone experiences it, even the most confident people. Doubt is a normal part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to control you. One of the best ways to combat doubt is to remind yourself of your strengths and past successes. Think about the times you've overcome challenges before. Remind yourself of your achievements and the progress you've made. When you focus on your past successes, it becomes easier to believe in yourself and your ability to succeed in the future. Another way to overcome doubt is to stop comparing yourself to others. Everyone's journey is different, and comparing yourself to someone else will only make you feel inadequate. Instead, focus on your own path. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step you take is an achievement. When you stop comparing and start celebrating your own journey, you'll feel more confident and motivated to keep going. Sometimes we let fear and doubt control us because we're afraid of what others will think. We worry about being judged or not measuring up to expectations. But the truth is, most people are too focused on their own lives to judge you. The more you worry about what others think, the more it holds you back. Instead, focus on what matters to you. Stay true to your goals and your values, and don't let other people's opinions stop you from pursuing your dreams. One way to push through doubt and fear is to take action, even if it's small. When you feel afraid or uncertain, doing anything can help you feel more in control. Taking action helps you build confidence and proves to yourself that you are capable. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but with each small step, you'll feel more confident in your ability to handle challenges. It's also helpful to remind yourself that everyone starts somewhere. No one is born with all the answers or the perfect skills. Everyone has to learn, grow, and make mistakes along the way. So, when you feel doubt or fear, remind yourself that it's all part of the process. Each step you take is a step toward learning and improving. Fear and doubt can also be reduced by having a support system. Having people who believe in you and encourage you can make a big difference. Surround yourself with friends, family, or mentors who lift you up and help you stay focused on your goals. When you have people who support you, it's easier to push through fear and doubt. They can offer advice, reassurance, and motivation when you need it most. Lastly, practice self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when you feel fear or doubt, but that only makes the situation worse. Instead of criticizing yourself, treat yourself with kindness. Understand that fear and doubt are normal, and remind yourself that you're doing the best you can. Be patient with yourself and give yourself credit for trying, even when it's hard. Overcoming fear and doubt is a journey, not a destination. It takes practice, self-reflection, and a lot of courage. But by facing your fears, pushing through self-doubt, and taking consistent action, you can overcome anything. The more you face fear and doubt head-on, the less power they will have over you. And the more you embrace challenges and push past obstacles, the stronger and more confident you will become. Remember, fear and doubt are not the enemies. They're just feelings that everyone experiences. The real strength comes from how you handle those feelings. So, the next time fear or doubt creeps in, remember that you have the power to move forward. You've done it before, and you can do it again. Chapter 9. The Power of Positive Thinking. Your thoughts are powerful. What you think shapes the way you feel, and how you feel shapes the actions you take. Positive thinking isn't just about being optimistic all the time or ignoring problems. It's about focusing on the good in situations and finding solutions, even when things are tough. Positive thinking helps you handle challenges, setbacks, and difficulties in a way that moves you forward, rather than holding you back. When you think positively, you approach problems with a mindset of growth. Instead of seeing an obstacle as something that stops you, you see it as something that can be overcome. It's not about pretending everything is easy or perfect, but about choosing to focus on what you can do, rather than what you can't. The first step to positive thinking is awareness. Most people go through their days without thinking too much about their thoughts. But by becoming more aware of what's going on in your mind, you can begin to notice when negative thoughts pop up. For example, if you're working on a project and you think this is too hard, I can't do it, that's a negative thought. The next step is to challenge it. Ask yourself, why do I think I can't do it? What can I do to make this easier? Instead of giving into the thought, turn it around and find a solution. Positive thinking also means being kind to yourself. We are often our own worst critics, telling ourselves we're not good enough or that we're not capable. But being kind to yourself is key to building confidence and keeping a positive mindset. When you make a mistake or face a challenge, instead of criticizing yourself, remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are just opportunities to learn and grow. By treating yourself with kindness, you create a mental environment where positivity can thrive. One way to think positively is to focus on gratitude. When you take time each day to think about what you're thankful for, you shift your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right. Gratitude helps you stay grounded and focused on the positive things in your life, rather than on the things you wish were different. This doesn't mean ignoring the tough parts of life, but instead of letting them take over, you also focus on the good. For example, if you're facing a difficult situation at work or school, take a moment to think about the things that are going well. Maybe you're learning new things or building valuable relationships. These small reminders can help you stay positive and motivated, even when things feel challenging. Another key to positive thinking is to set yourself up for success. This means thinking about what you want to achieve and believing that it's possible. If you have a goal, think about the steps you can take to reach it. Instead of saying, "I'll never be able to do this," say, "I might not know exactly how yet, but I can figure it out." This mindset helps you focus on solutions and keeps you moving forward. Positive thinking also involves taking care of your mental health. Just like your body needs exercise and rest, your mind needs care too. If you're constantly filling your mind with negativity or worrying about things that might never happen, it can drain your energy and motivation. But if you focus on thoughts that lift you up and encourage you, you'll feel more energized and ready to take on challenges. Taking time for self-care, whether it's reading, relaxing, or spending time with loved ones, helps you keep a positive attitude and stay balanced. One powerful tool to build a positive mindset is visualization. Imagine yourself succeeding in your goals. Picture yourself handling challenges with confidence, solving problems, and making progress. This mental practice helps you build confidence and clarity about what you want to achieve. When you visualize success, you begin to believe it's possible, and that belief helps you take the necessary actions to make it real. It's important to remember that positive thinking doesn't mean you'll never face setbacks. Life is full of ups and downs, and things don't always go as planned. But how you respond to those challenges is what matters most. Instead of getting discouraged or giving up, choose to stay focused on the bigger picture. Remind yourself of your strengths, your ability to solve problems, and your capacity for growth. Even if things don't go the way you want them to, a positive mindset will help you bounce back and keep moving forward. One of the most important aspects of positive thinking is believing in your ability to control your own future. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that everything is out of your control or that you're just a victim of circumstances. But in reality, you have more control over your life than you think. By choosing to think positively, you take control of your mindset, your actions, and your ability to shape your future. When you believe in yourself and your ability to handle challenges, you become more resilient, more determined, and more focused on achieving your goals. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is also key to maintaining a positive mindset. The people you spend time with can have a big impact on your attitude. If you're surrounded by negative people who complain all the time or bring you down, it can be hard to stay positive. But if you surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, it becomes much easier to stay positive. Look for people who encourage you, who believe in your potential, and who help you stay focused on the good. Positive thinking is also about being present in the moment. Often, we get caught up in worrying about the future or thinking about past mistakes. But when you focus on the present, you stop wasting energy on things you can't control. Instead, you put your energy into what you can do right now. The present moment is the only time you have to make a difference, and positive thinking helps you stay engaged and focused on what matters most. Finally, remember that positive thinking is a habit. It's not something that happens overnight. It takes practice, but the more you practice thinking positively, the easier it becomes. Start small by focusing on one positive thought a day. As you get better at shifting your mindset, you'll find that it becomes second nature. And soon, you'll be able to approach every challenge with a positive attitude, knowing that you have the strength and resilience to overcome anything that comes your way. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember the power of positive thinking. Choose to focus on what's possible, believe in your ability to succeed, and stay focused on your goals. Your thoughts are powerful, and with a positive mindset, you can turn any challenge into an opportunity for growth. Chapter 10. The importance of time management. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, yet it is easy to waste. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but some people seem to get more done than others. The difference lies in how they manage their time. Time management is the key to achieving more, reducing stress, and creating a balanced life. Time management means planning and organizing how you spend your time. When you manage your time well, you're able to complete tasks efficiently and have time left over for rest, relaxation, and other important activities. But when you don't manage your time well, you end up feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and rushed. One of the first steps in time management is understanding where your time is going. Take a look at your daily routine. How do you spend your time each day? Are you spending too much time on activities that don't move you toward your goals? Are you procrastinating or getting distracted by things that are not important? Being aware of how you spend your time is the first step in making better choices about how you use it. A helpful tool for time management is creating a schedule. A schedule helps you organize your day and plan when you will work on specific tasks. It gives you a clear idea of what needs to be done and when. When you have a schedule, you don't have to wonder what you should be doing next. You already know. This helps you stay focused and avoid wasting time. Start by listing all the things you need to do, both short-term and long-term. Then prioritize them. Which tasks are the most important? Which ones need to be done first? Once you have a list of tasks, break them down into smaller, more manageable steps. This makes large tasks seem less overwhelming and helps you stay on track. Time management also involves setting goals. When you have clear goals, you know exactly what you're working toward. This gives you motivation and a sense of purpose. Without goals, it's easy to feel like you're just going through the motions, without any real direction. By setting goals, you give yourself something to focus on, and time management becomes easier because you're working towards something meaningful. One way to set effective goals is to use the SMART goal method. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This method helps you set clear and realistic goals that you can work toward in a specific amount of time. For example, instead of saying, "I want to get better at writing," a SMART goal would be, "I want to write one essay every week for the next month to improve my writing skills." This goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and has a clear timeline. Once you have your goals, make a plan for how you will achieve them. Break each goal down into smaller tasks and decide when you will complete each task. When you have a plan, you're more likely to stay focused and on track. The key is to work on one task at a time. Multitasking may seem like a good idea, but it can actually waste more time because you're splitting your attention between different tasks. Instead, focus on completing one thing before moving on to the next. A big challenge in time management is avoiding distractions. There are many things that can pull your attention away from what you need to do. Social media, notifications, and even other people can distract you. To manage your time better, learn how to limit distractions. One way to do this is to set boundaries. For example, when you're working on a task, turn off notifications on your phone or put your phone in another room. Let others know that you need to focus and ask them not to interrupt you unless it's urgent. Another important aspect of time management is learning how to say no. It can be tempting to say yes to everything, but when you take on too many tasks, you end up stretching yourself too thin. Saying yes to everything can lead to burnout and stress. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your goals or priorities. It's okay to turn down requests or invitations if they're going to take up time that you need for something more important. Time management also involves knowing when to take breaks. Working without breaks can lead to burnout and decreased productivity. It's important to give yourself time to rest and recharge. Take short breaks throughout the day to stretch, walk around, or do something you enjoy. These breaks help you stay focused and prevent mental fatigue. But make sure your breaks don't turn into long periods of procrastination. Set a timer for your breaks and stick to it. Another key to managing your time is being realistic about what you can accomplish in a day. Don't overschedule yourself. Be honest about how much time each task will take, and don't try to fit too much into your day. If you try to do too much, you'll end up rushing and making mistakes. Instead, focus on doing a few things well rather than doing many things poorly. Reflecting on your time management is also important. At the end of each week, take a moment to review how well you managed your time. Did you complete your tasks? Were there any distractions that got in your way? Did you spend too much time on things that weren't important? By reflecting on your time management, you can identify areas for improvement and make adjustments for the following week. Managing your time well also means taking care of yourself. Don't forget to schedule time for self-care. Get enough sleep, eat well, exercise, and make time for relaxation. Taking care of your body and mind is essential for staying focused and productive. When you feel good physically and mentally, you're able to manage your time better and be more efficient. Time management is a skill that takes practice. The more you work at it, the easier it becomes. By setting clear goals, creating a schedule, limiting distractions, and taking care of yourself, you can make the most of your time and accomplish more. Remember that time is a limited resource. How you spend it matters. By managing your time wisely, you can achieve your goals, reduce stress, and create a more balanced life. Chapter 11. The Power of Self-Belief. Self-belief is one of the most powerful things you can have. It's the confidence that you are capable of achieving your goals, no matter how big or difficult they may seem. Without self-belief, you might never take the first step toward your dreams, or you might give up too soon when things get hard. With self-belief, you can tackle anything that comes your way. At the heart of self-belief is the idea that you are worthy of success. Many people struggle with self-doubt, thinking they aren't good enough or that they don't have what it takes, but everyone has the ability to succeed in their own way. Self-belief is about trusting in your skills, abilities, and potential. It's about knowing that, no matter what, you have the power to learn, grow, and overcome challenges. One of the first steps in building self-belief is to recognize your strengths. It's easy to focus on what you can't do or what you haven't achieved yet. But this only makes you feel discouraged. Instead, take time to acknowledge your accomplishments, big or small. Think about the times you've succeeded in the past, whether it was solving a difficult problem, finishing a project, or helping someone else. Remind yourself of these achievements regularly, especially when self-doubt creeps in. The more you focus on your strengths, the stronger your self-belief will become. Another way to build self-belief is by setting goals. When you have clear goals, you can see exactly what you're working toward. This gives you something to focus on and a reason to keep going, even when things get tough. Setting and achieving small goals will boost your confidence and show you that you are capable of more than you think. For example, if you want to improve your grades, set a goal to study for a certain amount of time each day. Every time you reach a small milestone, your self-belief will grow, and you'll feel more motivated to continue. But setting goals isn't enough by itself. You also need to take action. Without action, your dreams will remain just dreams. The key to turning your goals into reality is persistence. Even when things get hard or you don't see immediate results, keep moving forward. Success doesn't happen overnight, but with each step you take, you're moving closer to your goal. Each action, no matter how small, is proof that you are capable of making progress. One of the biggest obstacles to self-belief is fear of failure. Failure is something everyone experiences at some point. It can feel painful and discouraging, but failure is not the end of the road. In fact, failure is a part of success. It's how we learn, grow, and improve. When you fail, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're learning and getting closer to figuring out the right way to succeed. Instead of fearing failure, embrace it as a stepping stone toward your goals. It's also important to surround yourself with positivity. The people you spend time with can greatly influence your self-belief. If you're around people who support you, encourage you, and believe in your potential, it's easier to believe in yourself. On the other hand, if you're around people who doubt you or bring you down, it can be harder to stay confident. Choose to be around people who lift you up and help you believe in your abilities. Their positivity and encouragement will fuel your own self-belief. Another way to strengthen your self-belief is by practicing positive self-talk. Our inner voice has a powerful influence on how we feel and act. If your inner voice is full of negative thoughts like "I can't do this" or "I'm not good enough," it can be hard to stay confident. But by replacing negative thoughts with positive affirmations, you can change the way you think about yourself. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I am capable and I will figure it out." Positive self-talk reminds you of your strength and helps you stay focused on your goals. Self-belief also comes from taking care of yourself. When you take care of your body and mind, you feel better about yourself, which boosts your confidence. Make time for rest, exercise, and activities that help you relax and recharge. A healthy mind and body are essential for building self-belief. When you feel good physically and mentally, you're more likely to believe in your ability to succeed. It's also important to practice patience with yourself. Building self-belief takes time, and there will be moments when you feel unsure or face setbacks. But remember, self-belief is not about being perfect. It's about knowing that you are capable of learning, growing, and improving. Every time you face a challenge and keep going, you are building more confidence in your ability to succeed. Don't be too hard on yourself when things don't go as planned. Instead, be patient and trust that with time and effort, you will achieve your goal. Self-belief is also about being kind to yourself. Too often we're our own harshest critics. We focus on our mistakes, our flaws, and our shortcomings. But when you practice kindness toward yourself, you build a positive mindset that helps you believe in your potential. Treat yourself the way you would treat a friend. Encourage yourself, celebrate your achievements, and remind yourself of your strengths. The more kindness you show yourself, the more your self-belief will grow. Remember, self-belief isn't something that magically happens one day. It's a habit that you build over time. Start by recognizing your strengths, setting clear goals, taking action, and embracing failure as a learning experience. Surround yourself with positivity, practice positive self-talk, and be patient with yourself. Each day, take steps to strengthen your belief in your abilities. When you believe in yourself, you open the door to endless possibilities. You become more confident, more motivated, and more willing to take risks. You start to see challenges as opportunities and believe that you can overcome any obstacle. Self-belief gives you the strength to keep going, even when things get tough. And as you continue to believe in yourself, you'll realize that there's no limit to what you can achieve. Chapter 12: Unlocking Your Potential. We all have the potential to achieve great things. Inside each of us is a power waiting to be unlocked, a force that once discovered can help us overcome obstacles, reach our goals, and become the best version of ourselves. But often, we hold ourselves back. We get stuck in our comfort zones, afraid to take risks, or we let fear, doubt, and past failures stop us from moving forward. The truth is, unlocking your potential requires you to break through those barriers and step into the life you've always dreamed of. The first step in unlocking your potential is realizing that it's already within you. You don't have to wait for a perfect moment or for someone else to tell you that you're ready. The potential to do amazing things is already there, waiting for you to tap into it. It's not about becoming someone else or trying to be perfect. It's about embracing who you are and using your unique talents and strengths to make a difference in your life and the lives of others. To unlock your potential, you must start by believing in yourself. Self-belief is the foundation of all success. If you don't believe that you have the ability to achieve your goals, you'll never take the first step toward reaching them. The key is to shift your mindset from I can't to I can. Every time you tell yourself that you can't do something, you limit your own potential. But when you change your thinking and say, I can do this, you open the door to new possibilities. One of the biggest obstacles to unlocking your potential is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears hold many people back from taking action. But the truth is, fear is natural. Everyone feels it. The most successful people are not those who never experience fear. They are the ones who face it, push through it, and keep going despite it. Fear doesn't have to stop you. It can be the driving force that helps you move forward. When you're afraid to try something new or take a risk, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Often the worst-case scenario isn't as bad as we imagine. Even if things don't go as planned, failure isn't the end of the world. It's just a lesson, a stepping stone to success. Each time you face your fears and keep going, you become stronger and more confident in your ability to overcome challenges. Another important part of unlocking your potential is setting clear goals. Without goals, it's easy to drift through life without direction. But when you set specific, measurable goals, you give yourself something to work toward. These goals act as a roadmap, guiding you toward the future you want to create. Whether it's learning a new skill, achieving a personal milestone, or reaching a career goal, having a clear vision of what you want to achieve is the first step in unlocking your potential. However, setting goals is only the beginning. The real key to unlocking your potential lies in taking consistent action. It's easy to get excited about a goal and feel motivated at first, but motivation fades. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is the ability to keep going when the excitement wears off. Consistency is what leads to long-term success. Whether you're working on a big project or taking small steps toward a personal goal, showing up every day and doing the work is what will help you unlock your potential. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to break your goals down into smaller, more manageable tasks. When a goal feels too big or overwhelming, it's easy to get discouraged and give up. But by breaking it down into smaller tasks, you make the process feel more achievable. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't focus on the entire book at once. Instead, set a goal to write a certain number of pages each week. Every small step you take will get you closer to your bigger goal. It's also important to stay patient. Unlocking your potential takes time. Progress isn't always immediate, and things won't always go according to plan. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and challenges along the way. But the key is to keep going. Even when things get tough, success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires time, effort, and persistence. Another essential part of unlocking your potential is learning from your mistakes. No one is perfect, and everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is not to dwell on your failures, but to learn from them. Each mistake is an opportunity to grow and improve. When you make a mistake, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Then use that lesson to adjust your approach and move forward. The more you learn from your mistakes, the more you'll grow, and the closer you'll get to unlocking your full potential. As you work toward your goals, don't forget to take care of yourself. Your mind and body need rest and care in order to perform at their best. If you push yourself too hard without taking breaks, you'll burn out and won't be able to reach your full potential. Make sure to schedule time for self-care, whether it's exercise, relaxation, or spending time with loved ones. Taking care of yourself is just as important as working toward your goals, because it helps you stay focused, energized, and motivated. Support is also important when it comes to unlocking your potential. Surround yourself with people who encourage and inspire you. Positive influences can help you stay motivated and remind you of your worth, especially when you're feeling doubtful or discouraged. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a family member, having someone in your corner can make a huge difference in your journey to unlock your potential. It's also important to celebrate your progress along the way. Every step forward is an achievement, and it's important to recognize that celebrating your wins, both big and small, helps you stay motivated and reminds you of how far you've come. It also helps build confidence and reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. Finally, unlocking your potential requires a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that you can develop your abilities through hard work, dedication, and learning. People with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as obstacles. They understand that effort and persistence lead to improvement. When you have a growth mindset, you're more likely to embrace challenges, push through difficulties, and keep improving. Unlocking your potential is a lifelong journey. It's about continuously learning, growing, and striving to be the best version of yourself. By believing in yourself, setting clear goals, taking consistent action, learning from your mistakes, and surrounding yourself with support, you can unlock your true potential. You are capable of achieving amazing things. Don't let anything hold you back from becoming the person you're meant to be.